Hey everybody, welcome to Ice Cream You Meme podcast about the internet, horrors of the internet, and the horrors of the internet.
And horrors of in general.
And horrors of. Horrors.
I said it right that time.
Horrors.
I didn't say horrors because I've been harassed.
Speaking of not being able to say R's, I hear there's a little bit of Boston lore that you have to drop for me. Yeah.
Shit. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
Ben, are you... Anyway, that's Ben. I'm JD.
Hi.
Hi. Are you familiar with the phrase... Let me get my screenshots. I know I could have put these on the computer.
Oh, I bought for that, you know.
You know, we're already always so prepared.
You got your multiple devices. You always love taking a photo of your screen or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait, it cut. It cut off at you got your something.
I'm talking about your device, your love of taking a photo of a screen to share with me. Record, yeah, you know.
That's some hater shit, Ben.
I mean, look, there's the Internet of Things. There's a way to record a screen.
Why don't I just hold it up to the camera? It's not. Oh my god! Why make it harder for myself?
You're right. No, I appreciate that.
I'll make it hard for your eyes, but not me.
I'm not a good editor, so let's keep it as easy as possible. 2 video feeds, plenty for me to manage.
Okay, so I did not practice my Bostonian accent because I feel like my voice is in its like crinkly era.
Crinkly.
So it like breaks in random parts lately, and it's been high for some reason. So I'm not gonna force a Boston accent on that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so from we're talking about Boston Suns.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say Matt Affleck.
Matt Affleck.
I jumped ahead.
Okay.
I jumped ahead.
Are we
somewhere?
A ship?
Somewhere.
Okay.
His ear was like itchy, you know?
Yeah.
His ear was itchy real quick. So, okay. I found this out personally because I saw a screenshot on Twitter of a Tumblr post that says, from Grumfield, user Grumfield, one of my roommates is from China and neither of us speaks the other's language. But lately, when she's in a chatty mood, she comes into our kitchen and shows me these Douyin, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck RPF videos. RPF is real person fiction. And puts her theories about how Ben has been pining for Matt into Google Translate for me to read. Fujoing out transcends language barriers. Fujoshis are, the girls who love
like
male. Yeah, BL, right. Those kinds of things, right? And then there's a screenshot from this person's roommate. It says, B has always had a crush on M when they were kids in Boston. I think B always thought they would be together, but then they became famous actors. M would never notice B's feelings. B dated women to try to forget him. They would have been a real couple only if they hadn't become famous. So, and then the caption to that screenshot is, "This is so charming to me. Doomed Boston Yowie." So that is how I found out about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. The second I saw this, I sent it to my friend, and turns out she is a historian of the Matt Damon
Wow.
God, I keep fellas.
Matt Affleck. Yeah.
I want to say Bat Damon, but it's not. It's not correct.
Yeah, that's all Bat
Damon is a sick ass name. Okay, fellas. I'm saying. Okay, so. She sent me over to our best friend, knowyourmeme.com, which she made a reference to this and I didn't understand it. And then she realized that I didn't understand it. So she pointed me to this, which is the phrase. Have you heard this phrase before? Which could mean nothing.
The phrase is which could mean nothing?
Yeah.
Maybe not. No, not in a meaningful way, I would say.
Okay. So the phrase which could mean nothing is this is a catchphrase that is used to like caption or like suggest that like two people or like some individuals are in a like romantic or sexual relationship, right? Okay. So it originated from a post from January 2021 from Lainey Gossip, which is like a gossip blog, celebrity entertainment type thing. It's an article about Matt Damon going to like Ben Affleck's house without wearing a wedding ring. And then the caption, the article is basically like Matt Damon ring update. And then the preview title for the article, it says, this is where that phrase comes from. Matt Damon not wearing wedding ring again during another visit to Ben Affleck's house, which could mean nothing. And it went unnoticed for a bit until someone on Tumblr, the beloved space for Fujoshis and Fudanshi, I think is the other one where it's like, you love GL, girls love stuff, right? So February 6th, someone reposted it and said, I'm laughing at this headline. And basically it's like the gist of like the use of like again and another, like Matt Damon frequently goes to Ben Affleck's house without
pattern here. Like, I love the implication that it's like Matt Damon is like tricking Ben Affleck. Like Ben Affleck's gonna be like, "Oh, I thought you were married." He's like, "Nah, bro. Don't worry about it, bro. It's fine.
Don't worry about it, bro.
She don't have to know anything. It's okay." Like,
yeah. So it's basically, I think that's where a lot of people, like the wider public of the internet, got into the Ben Affleck slot. Now I'm like, is that correct? Yeah, it is, because he's Batfleck, which is he's Batman. Batfleck. Okay, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's very, very long relationship. They were like childhood friends, they were buddies. There's like one thing about like one of them is like afraid of flying planes in an airplane. So like what the two of them would do is like one of them would like drive the other across states to like go to auditions, and everyone's like, wow, they do all this stuff for each other, which could mean nothing. And then there's like posts about like Ben Affleck during this like separation from Jennifer Lopez is really leaning on Matt Damon, and everyone's kind of, you know, retweeting that, quote tweeting it as, which could mean nothing. So apparently they're it's been a long time. This is Boston history at this point.
Wow. Yeah, right.
Because this has been going on for really since they were children. Like,
they were lads.
They were lads. They were like preteens.
Crazy. Okay.
That's the nature of doomed Boston Yowie, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck.
I mean, you would think like Boston, parts of it known for fairly conservative politics, forbidden love aspects there, maybe a little bit for a good Boston boy. You know, Ben Affleck, famously kind of a somber and tragic figure. You have to wonder if like he would like kind of lighten up a little bit if he could express a hidden side of him, maybe.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. Yeah.
Yeah, like if Matt Damon. God damn it! Stop with this. What are these names from Boston? Which is a separate country from California, where people are named Butterfly and Amethyst, but Merlin, Butterfly, Amethyst, and the last name is like Stevenson. But it's I think people are lately, because they're paying so much attention to Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, very shocked that Ben Affleck is actually pretty smart.
Yeah, right.
He's like well spoken, blah blah blah. His Spanish is good.
He has like solid politics too, right?
Like, like he seems like, and most importantly, out of all that, out of the politics, great Spanish, long relationship, doomed Boston Yowie. He is my favorite Batman, and I know that's very controversial.
Okay, I was a little concerned for a second you were going to say he's my favorite Ben, and I was going to get a little upset there. Let's.
Ben Franklin's
God damn it.
Ben Franklin, Big Ben.
That old pervert.
Benjamin Button. Name some Bens. I got 3, 4.
Uncle Ben. The Spider-Man guy.
Famous doomed uncle.
Yeah.
Who all else is a Ben out there? Ben, the mouse that inspired Bad Bunny. Is he a Ben? Benito?
Benito. Yeah.
Oh. That's a cute one. The Jackson 5 song.
Mussolini, Benito Mussolini, of course. Listen,
yeah, I wasn't taking it there. I said Benito is a cute little name, like adding a little ito at the end of things. Yeah, those are my. Yeah, he's my favorite Batman, which is controversial to some people who has like the choices that you have, and then I would choose Matt Damon.
I'm sorry, Ben.
You guys don't get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like in terms of like I know what's his name? Not Christopher Nolan. He was Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Kind of a notorious asshole, and like I think also he's very much outshone by. I mean, the Heath Ledger Joker is really the only thing that I think people remember of that trilogy.
Yeah, low key. I'm sorry.
Low-key. And yeah, I mean, like the Tom Hardy Bane is of course also like no, it's no Joker, but it's also memorable.
Yeah, he gets so outshone by those two characters in the movie with him.
Yeah, the Christian Bale, his Batman performance is not amazing. How do you feel about Robert Pattinson as Batman?
I haven't seen that Batman yet, but I do love like idea of like a Batman who is like definitely a little bit angsty. Like he's like you kind of want to make fun of him because he's just
angsty,
like
awkward kind of. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked the Batman. I liked it was very like inspired, like very 90s grungy and like a very like 9 Inch Nails, Nirvana-y way, which I enjoyed.
I love that.
So yeah, I thought it was fun. And I like Robert Pattinson too as a general force.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson seems like he's having fun with what he's doing, and he's not afraid to make a silly voice.
Certainly not. No.
No.
And, we respect that here.
We respect silly voices.
Yeah. So there we have it. Of course, there's other Batmans out there. I'm sure probably some. The boomers are liking Adam West, right?
Oh yeah. Damn.
Yeah, that's a classic Batman as well. You can't really argue with that.
The classic Batman fit.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't think every Batman has to be like serious. Batman's kind of can be silly. I think sometimes.
Yeah, he's just he's a rich guy with a suit, and he's going out there to fight and beat people up.
Yeah, and I like camp Batman. I'm here for campy.
I think, because it's like, listen, you make yourself out of something that really scares you, and then you do your whole like, those tweets that are like, you'll never be as dedicated to something as like someone who loves the color purple or like the color black. Like I think that's him, right? You'll never be as dedicated to the bat symbol as Batman.
I mean, bat everything, bat car. I mean, that was like always a joke, right? Like bat car, you got the bat rope, bat anything that could be bat.
The bat
tape.
with
that boy, bat tape.
Yeah,
a man just loved bats.
Yeah, and then like probably in world there's a bunch of like freaky little bat stuff about it, and I wonder if he's like patented the Batman concept as Bruce Wayne. I almost forgot his name. He like patented that through his company, and then like every time someone invents a new bat concept thing, it has to go through his like IP.
Probably. I mean, he's still a rich. He's millionaire, billionaire, depending on era. So he's gonna control the bat IP.
Is Robert Pattinson's Batman a billionaire?
Probably. I mean, he's still like rich. He's
like mad rich.
He's mad rich. Yeah, he's got like the mansion and I think he's got the cave.
God, the cave.
He's got the bat cave, of course, naturally.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's got all the accoutrement, the bat accoutrement.
The bat accoutrement. Yeah, slay, big words.
Yeah, the Batman, pretty solid.
Yeah,
recommend.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we're at nearly 15 minutes.
We've gone through Boston Doomsday. We've gone through Batman.
Bam. Third
thing. The rule of comedy. We need a third thing. The third thing is the actual show.
We've written our thoughtful scripts. Would you like me to start or?
Yeah, I think you could start because mine's a little. Let me take some science notes, Ben. Get started.
Man, all right. Shit. Okay.
Get to work, man.
Okay, so first of all, basically this is the high point. It's all going to be downhill from here. We're going to spend a lot of time in valleys, so get ready, everybody.
Yo, what is up, you guys? On tonight's video, we ordered the Amongus potion from the dark web. And supposedly, when you drink this Amongus potion at 3 a.m., you turn into the imposter from Among Us. And we're gonna find out if it actually is real or if it's not. And it better be real, you guys. Because I literally spent $500.69.
That's it?
That's it. That's what we got.
Okay.
All right, cool. So, great story, right?
Some questions.
Would you like to hit me up first?
Maybe it's not a question, but it's more like that pronunciation of Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
Among Us?
Among Us? Yeah.
You gotta really think about saying it that way.
Mm-hmm. It's intentional, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, because I could just go Among Us.
Among Us. Yeah, right. Or
Among Us.
Among Us potion.
Among Us potion. Okay.
All
right.
$500.69.
Okay.
Yeah.
I assume you're going to tell me where from this may have been purchased.
From the dark web?
Okay. Dark web. I thought it was like
Dark
Etsy or something.
No. The Among Us potion from the dark web is kind of the meme as it exists.
Okay.
So that clip is from a nearly 20-minute video by the channel Arcade Craniacs, posted on May 16th, 2021. As you may have guessed, he does not turn into the imposter from Among Us. At least not literally.
Damn.
Spoilers. Sorry if you haven't seen it. You're not really missing out. The video did well. It got 3 million views in the first year and has 4.5 million at the time I'm writing this script 3 years later. Clearly, it's not serious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone who watched these videos would believe that there is an actual Among Us potion that can be purchased from the dark web for $500.69. And you might be thinking, well, why is this a topic for the show? Isn't this just an unfunny joke by a hack? I promise we are going to get there. So in 2022, the clip I shared started to do the rounds on TikTok. The first one to hit big was a clip with the text reading, "Mom, go play with your cousin / my cousin," right? And then the guy doing this, this is like my cousin's a freak.
Okay.
He's talking about the Among Us potion, right? That's
okay.
I found that offensive because obviously I'm that cousin to my cousins. But personal attacks on my character's side. It did numbers. It got 13 million views and 1 million likes within 8 months. And then the sound continued to spread, right? It particularly gained traction on makeup talk, TikTok, make talk. Do you know if there's a term for beauty influencer TikTok? I couldn't. I'm not sure.
Beauty talk?
Beauty talk? Bootalk?
Bootalk?
Bootalk. With influencers, they're posting about their products with the sound, right? So usually the joke was kind of like, I'm using a foundation from Shine or a palette that they had since the Obama administration, and it's like, this is the Among Us potion from the dark, right? You got the joke.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that corny air of mystery and the sound is kind of perfect for describing shit with like a dubious origin, right? I'm putting this on my face. Who knows where the fuck this came from? This is strange, right? But anyway, speaking of shit with dubious origins, let's get into the channel here. Mm-hmm. So, as I previously mentioned, the original video called "Ordering Among Us Potion from the Dark Web at 3 a.m. Imposter" was posted by Arcade Craniacs. Arcade Craniacs is a YouTube channel originally hosted by Edward Centeno and his partner Nikki Carrion. Now, fair warning. So, I'm going to get into some dark stuff coming up. May want to skip ahead to JD's section if you are not feeling like you want to hear about creepy, abusery, groomery stuff. Just as a heads up, but not everybody. I don't really want to talk about it either. I didn't realize it was part of it. I thought it was just a dumb fucking TikTok sound, but here we are.
Oh my God.
So, in January 2017, Edward Centeno was attacked by a stranger with a metal baton. One of his maxillary bones was broken. He lost a tooth, and another became permanently crooked. He also had a split lip that took months to heal, and he eventually sought surgery to make the scar less apparent. This is obviously a horrible thing to go through and took a toll on Edward's psyche, right? Edward fell into a depression and began spending a lot of time watching YouTube videos, and he became increasingly interested in arcade videos, in particular, crane machine videos. This is a subset of YouTube that I'm sure exists. I had no idea it was a big thing though, right? And he noticed a potential niche, which he mentioned to his partner, Nikki. Only like PG-13 people were making these videos. No punk rockers. Nobody like us. We should be making these types of videos. And if we cater to more adults, people will follow us. So they started posting claw machine videos and started dipping into vlogs of them going into carnivals and arcades, right? But with some edge, because they're kind of cool, like little edgy kids like that, right? It's not dumb videos for babies who like claw machines. This is a hardcore video for adults who like claw machines, right? Turned out that the carnival games got more views, and so they began to focus on like carnival vlogs. By Edward's admission, these early videos were pretty low effort, right? They didn't have a schedule. It was just whenever they got around to posting, whenever they went to a carnival. But they kept getting more and more viewers. Must be nice. Within 8 months, their channel was monetized and things became more serious. They started paying attention to the analytics and posting on a regular schedule. And by early 2020, they'd hit 200,000 subscribers. Now, as we all know, this is when Dr. Fauci's plan to take out the Patriots was put into action. A lot of industries were impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, but perhaps none more than arcade YouTubers. So they had to start thinking about a way to pivot, right? Edward started a TikTok to push people to the YouTube channel. So they tried lives, they were doing unboxing videos, but then enter, front of the podcast, Charles Entertainment Cheese, right? If you remember, back in the early pandemic, there was a lot of rumors about Chuck E. Cheese, right? There was the pizza that was being delivered that was, what was it, Pizzicato's Pizza or something like that? Pasquale's Pizza, right?
Yeah.
And that was like actually just Chuck E. Cheese pizza, right? And then rumors were also swirling about like, there's no way Chuck E. Cheese is going to survive this pandemic. This is it for Chuck E. Cheese. So there was a wave of Chuck E. Cheese content that washed over the internet as people came together at the thought of losing our favorite pizza rat, right? And Edward and Nikki posted a Chuck E. Cheese video on Nikki's personal channel, and it did numbers. So they posted a video on the Arcade Craniacs channel called 5 Kids Missing at Chuck E. Cheese. What happened? And this would mark the transition point for their channel. They began to fit a new niche, right? Because this is where they really started to blow up and really started getting attention, thanks in large part to TikTok, right? And this was the niche of 3 a.m. videos. Now, are you familiar with a 3 a.m. video?
I am, maybe. Yeah. Is it like the concept of like doing something at 3 a.m. and it got like some of those videos are like 3 a.m. Ouija board gone wrong, blah blah blah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it's just basically, you're doing something at 3 a.m. It's like the thumbnail implies that something horrible happens, right? You're like, here's some example titles that will these are not from Arcade Craniacs, these are from other channels.
Okay.
Do not use bath bombs at 3 a.m. Do not watch Despicable Me 4 at 3 a.m. Minions came after us. Do not call Inside Out Disgust at 3 a.m. She is possessed, right? So you get a video where someone pretends to get a text from Shrek where he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up because I texted him at 3 a.m. I'm gonna kick your butt to avoid YouTube demonetization, that kind of thing. Because the main audience for these videos is 8, right? So when it comes to talking to minors, that does seem to be something Edward is familiar with, because he started talking to Nikki when he was 23 and she was 17, according to Nikki and according to some receipts that she shows. Now, he claims she was almost 18, which doesn't...
It does not help.
Doesn't matter. That's not the point.
That is not it.
It doesn't even make any, it doesn't make anything that happened less of a crime. Just, hypothetically, if anything happened, allegedly. But Nikki has a receipt that he was texting her and they were hanging out when she was, 6 months out from her 18th birthday. So I don't know if that's like just about to turn 18 either. Nikki posted a 1.5 video titled "I Was Groomed, Hidden in Plain Sight," where she outlines her experience being groomed by Edward. Nikki is a very cool SoCal punk and also provides tips for young people on how to avoid being groomed and red flags to look out for in manipulative and controlling relationships. But it's clear in the video that Nikki was always a reluctant participant in the Arcade Craniacs channel. She discusses how she was coerced into taking more suggestive photos than she would have liked for the arcade video thumbnails and said, quote, We accumulated a lot of adult viewers who were there for sexualized thumbnails of me, and we would live stream, and these older men, a lot of them at least, would sexualize me to my face. This was just another thing that reiterated to me that I was a young person, that who I was as a young person, which at the time I thought it was just somebody that was there to look good enough to entice men. We never did anything for this YouTube channel that I planned or desired to do. So, anyway, the COVID-19 pandemic was a rough time for Nikki. She was trapped in even greater isolation with a shitbag. So she outlines a history of physical and psychological abuse and manipulation. I don't want to steal her story because it is hers to tell. But the gist is that she wanted to get out of the relationship, but at the same time, they like blew up on TikTok, right? In this like 2020, 2021 era. And so much of their brand became about their relationship, and a lot of pressure from like viewers and fans about like how much they were like their goals, they're amazing, that kind of stuff, right? So she says that he also asked her to remove all of the social media posts with him from when she was underage, but she intentionally left one image where he was tagged from when she was 17 in the hopes that somebody would find it. And the internet, being the internet, somebody eventually did, and they posted a TikTok where they pointed that out. And that, you know, they were like, hey, she would be underage at this photo. What's up? What's up with that? And she says that he made her post a comment on this video saying that that was a lie and that she was 18, you know, all the shit. A few weeks later, Edward came saying that there was a lesbian girl who kept asking him for relationship advice and asked Nikki to take over because he didn't want to keep talking to her. And Nikki gradually built up a relationship with this girl, Anu, and they confided more and more about the situation with Edward. Anu eventually suggested that Nikki join her on a trip to New York, where she and some friends would be able to support her and kind of get her out of the situation with Edward. So Nikki went on the trip and also started looking for her own apartment, and she tried to extricate herself from the relationship. She built up her escape plan, which included listing all of the abuse and manipulation that she had suffered through to remind herself that she deserved better. And gradually she put the plan into action. It took around 6 months all told, and she finally did get out of the situation. And since then, it seems like she has been thriving, continuing as a YouTuber and kind of the media criticism, deep dives on YouTube lore space. And she recently announced her engagement to her new partner. So if you're in a situation like this, I want to encourage you to follow Nikki's example and get the fuck out of it. There are resources out there if you're in the U.S., like the Crisis Text Line, the National Domestic Violence Hotline, or Love is Respect in the United States. I'm sure there's many more abroad. We'll include those U.S. links, at least in the show notes. So get help, get the fuck out. Life's too short to live it with a shitty partner. But anyway, Edward was the first one to break the public silence about their relationship ending. He posted a video of him crying in his car and, coming clean about his mistreatment of Nikki, which according to him was, quote, like when we would go in the car, it would be like only my music, and it's like I forget that like she wants to play music too, but it's like I'm just in my head. Or like when we watch TV, she's like, can I put a movie on? And I'm like, well, let's just watch it together and we'll both watch. But I'm like, damn, fucking get to know her, like let her put on whatever she wants. So, deep reflection, very emotional, very remorseful. It's clearly he's showing that he was indeed the bad guy, right? But this sympathy play did turn a good portion of the viewership on Nikki and put more pressure on her to open up about the grooming by Edward. So she did this on an Instagram post, and this set him the fuck off and led to him posting multiple videos ranting about Nikki and how she was a liar. All this shit started happening, right? These were false allegations to stay relevant, and now she was irrelevant without the connection to the mighty Arcade Brainiacs brand, right? This eventually led to her posting the 90-minute video outlining the receipts and all the evidence she had of the mistreatment, right? And in response, Edward finally posted a 3-minute response video that was so badly ratioed that he deleted it. The Arcade Craniac channel has continued and completely focuses on 3 a.m. videos, with Nikki replaced by a parade of other people. Back in 2022 was when this all kind of dropped, and there were several YouTubers who predicted that this was going to be the end of Arcade Craniacs, the channel, that was it, right? This drama can't survive. Groomer, not going to happen. This has not been the case. In fact, since then, the channel has only grown from 2.8 million subscribers in 2022 to 4.8 million in October 2024. So, who is watching these videos. The Forbes profile, ostensibly written on the channel, but it really only talks to Edward and it's all about Edward, really drives home the point that the videos were targeted towards a more mature audience, right? He kind of talks about that in the arcade era and through the 3 a.m. videos, right? The article really paints a picture of some kind of like tongue-in-cheek artistry of arcade craniacs. So here's a quote from that. Other platforms and viewers, unaware of the psyche of these two creators, often make fun of the couple, unaware of their true creative intentions, whereas their YouTube audience is in on the joke, that the title and thumbnails are as clickbait heavy as possible. The quality of acting, detailed costumes, and semi-realistic props help create a cinematic universe that fans unironically enjoy around the publicly disliked 3 a.m. YouTube niche. It's a refreshing change over the 3 a.m. niche that's targeted at kids. And okay, I agree. It's hard to take these videos seriously. It's hard to believe. I'm not going to waste anyone's time talking about the feasibility of buying a potion that turns you into the imposter from the Among Us from the dark web, right? We all know that's a great deal, okay? We all know he got a great deal. And we love a bargain on this show, all right? So I'm not going to waste time. But, I do have a bone to pick with the idea that the Arcade Craniacs 3 a.m. videos or anything was really aimed at a mature audience, I feel like I'm on a watch list for watching these fucking videos.
Oh God, so am I.
I feel like I won't be allowed. I won't blow up, but like watching like the 3 a.m. videos of like, Poppy playtime is in my house at 3 a.m. Like that kind of shit. I feel like I won't be allowed near a school. Like that's too much time watching these videos.
Oh God.
And having watched, several of these videos, I feel very comfortable saying that the primary audience of these videos is children. It's kids, right?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Right. I mean, like when they talk about mature in the article, all they ever bring up is that basically like Nikki was like posing in provocative positions, right? That she'd be like in kind of a, yeah. But again, I don't think that's not appealing to like teenage boys or like tween boys. I don't know. I don't buy this whole like it's mature. Also, it's weird that your maturity is just like sexualizing it. Like, I don't know. So beyond that, the sense of humor throughout these videos is, it's what kids like, right? It's not Cocomelon, but it's clearly aiming for a young audience. One of the recurring jokes is about the imposter being Edward's lover, right? He runs into the imposter. He's like, oh my God, what's he doing here? What's my ex doing here? That kind of shit. There's a lot of sussy bakas and various other punchlines about how much Edward is trying to smash various characters like the imposter or Charles Entertainment Cheese himself.
Okay.
I mean, the clip I shared ends with a 69 joke. And while, you might think that's mature humor, that's inappropriate for children, I feel secure in saying that only a 10-year-old would laugh at, quote, I literally paid $500.69. I'm an idiot. And even I'm a little past thinking that adding 69 to something makes it funny. Content-wise, Arcade Craniacs is probably less damaging to a child's psyche than a lot of things they could see on YouTube. It's not Andrew Tate. Even in terms of media aimed at children, the infamous, Spider-Man and Elsa videos or Pregnant Sonic come to mind, right? There's been a lot of weird shit for kids on the internet. But there's always this question about, like, who is behind these videos that are targeted toward children and like monitoring what your children are watching and shit like that, right? And in the case of Arcade Craniacs, we know at the very least Edward pressured a teenage girl into attempting to sell sex as a way to drive views for videos about a fucking claw machine, right? So one of the dark things about appealing to a young audience is that there's not the knowledge or understanding of why something is necessarily wrong, and the memory of past actions does not play as much of a role, right? And that's something that gets missed when people talk about the downfall of Arcade Craniacs, right, back in 2022, is that he's constantly getting that new audience of young kids that don't know the backstory and may not be mentally able to process all of the information if they were even presented with it. And again, they probably shouldn't have to like explain what grooming is and power imbalances and coercion to like the 10-year-old that's watching a fucking video. They're dumb, shitty videos about video game characters coming to life. And the unfortunate thing is that Arcade Craniacs has continued to grow because who is really putting the time to look at the history behind random YouTube channels other than, me? I don't have children, and I do have the time to look into this. So this is just kind of a PSA here for any parents who may be watching or listening. When you're monitoring what your kids are watching on YouTube, which you should definitely be doing, not to tell you how to raise your kids. The name if you see the name Arcade Craniacs, switch it over to Blippi. A man who posted a video of him shitting on his friend's chest. Again, you need to monitor what your kids are watching on YouTube. This is like a whole thing. The truth is that as sanitized a place as we kind of think that the modern internet may be, with most activity taking place on a handful of websites, there are still a lot of shitheads out there. And it's almost kind of like an arms race for how you can market edgy shit to impressionable kids, from Happy Tree Friends to now, right? There's always going to be a market for kids who want to see something that they know they're not supposed to see. I don't think Arcade Train Axe is anything new, and he's certainly not the first children's entertainer with skeletons in his closet. But I think that Nikki's story is important because while we can't prove or say anything definitively, what she outlines is a troubling history of behavior. Some people who learned about Nikki's story may have left, but just by keeping the content machine going, the channel has not only survived, but has shown a consistent growth trend. And it turns out this isn't really a piece of internet horror. This is just some horrifying shit that happens on the internet. So that's the Among Us potion from the dark web. It doesn't,
Damn.
I was like, man, this is gonna be a fun. It wasn't a fucking fun one. I was disappointed when I got into this. I was like, oh no, this is grim.
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like like the average person who's like watching some of these things is not going to go and do like an in-depth deep dive into like the history of William, Bob, Andrew, who's like doing this until until it gets to like something that needs to be exposed, and then that's when some people will like look into it, and then like but
I mean, I think there was like a big enough component when Nikki was part of the channel that were like, oh my god, they're like goals, what a great couple, like, just because like that's when you post shit on the internet, sometimes people will pick up on various things. And that's, I think, why people kind of like followed Nikki's story when that came out, right? Was like that they had built up this whole thing. And of course, there was like the toxic side of that, of like people that were like blaming her and all this shit. But like, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough shit. It's just, it's grim. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm just, the illusions that we put forth are just troubling sometimes, and like the uncaring algorithm that will just eat up whatever shit you put into it.
Yeah. It's just like one of the first questions that I wrote down after I wrote the phrase "Ben is that cousin" in all caps is who is the audience of these videos, and then like the suggestion that it could be like a mature audience who is in on the joke is just so comical.
Yeah, I mean, I think that depends on what you define as a mature audience. Maybe it's kind of like the same way that Edward defined almost 18 as mature. Yeah, it's not for a mature audience. I mean, other than the fact that he kind of coerced a teenage girl into posing provocatively. That's the only thing that really in the Forbes article they mentioned as like, oh, that's like mature. And like the other shit, like the jokes about like, oh, he's I totally want to smash the imposter, he's so hot. Like, again, that's like shit that is entertaining for like adolescents. It's not I'm not qualifying that as like mature shit. It's not like he's like grappling with mortality. Like it's for kids.
Yeah, that is. And then like thinking about like when I became sort of like cognizant of, not even cognizant, when I became aware of the 420 and 69 jokes in like like elementary, middle school,
right,
like that was like hee hee ha ha. Everyone would write like 69, 420 on like things.
Sure. Who finds that funny? It's not like you're like a 25-year-old that's like, oh, 69, like at least not like, maybe ironically you are, but like you're not unironically like laughing at 69 cents.
Like maybe like, okay, if you like said something, if you had sent me something like, oh yeah, I bought this for $69, I'd send, first of all, I send nice, and then go, damn, where?
Right. That's like the thing is like at this point, in your life, when someone says 69, we have like the step was nice.
Nice.
And that's it. You keep it moving. You're like, nice. That's it. But you're not like, no,
was that YouTube thumbnail?
That's some edgy humor, bro. That's wild. You're so mature for that. Oh my god. I shouldn't be saying this. Like,
oh my god, Ben. We have this stuff goes on YouTube, Ben. We shouldn't be saying 66 and 9 and 420.
No,
At
you're
the
right,
very least, we should be saying 96 or something like that.
But
yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, I hadn't even, in terms of like genres and niches of videos, I hadn't even thought of like I knew there was a lot of like the 3 a.m. gone wrong videos, but I didn't think it was like like a genre or niche, which like now kind of like makes sense.
It's a deep well as it got into it. It's like there's a lot of this shit out there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, should we do IS1? Because we're already almost, in what's his face's definition, we're almost at 3 a.m.
That's true. Yeah.
We're almost at 3 a.m.
We're nearly there. Yeah.
We're almost at 3 a.m.
Yeah. And we're pretty fucking mature, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like fucking everything. Like,
yeah, we're cussing and stuff.
We're both almost 30, right? So that's actually much. I don't know. But yeah, man.
Oh my god.
The dark web, you would
the
think.
Amongus potion from the dark web for $500.69. Nice. Yeah, this is okay. Once again, mind meld for both of us, because you were talking about like children consuming stuff online and then like sometimes taking that for like the funnies, or sometimes taking things a little seriously, or like, you're a kid, you're not necessarily going to be like, is this real?
Yeah,
hey guys,
right.
Hey mom,
is this real?
Hey parents,
hey chat,
hey chat, hey chat, is this real? Let me know. But yeah, because mine, before I even get into mine, the Happy Tree Friends really got me.
Oh yeah, did you watch that when you were a kid?
Yes, I did. I watched it on. No, I didn't. I think I didn't understand the concept of Happy Tree Friends. We watched it on when Xfinity was like Comcast, and it was like on demand, and you watched it on like whatever thing that was, and it was like little tiny clips of it. But I know my older cousins were watching it as like a ha 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 ha, look at this thing that we're watching. I remember the one that really stuck with me is like one of them, their leg got caught under like a fallen tree, and they were like cutting it off with like a spoon, and then they checked and they cut off the wrong leg. And I was like, I think I don't get this. I've
didn't like it as a kid. I was definitely like, I was a little coward for sure. I was definitely like, I don't like gross stuff. I don't like blood. And this is gross, and I don't like seeing this. That's where I was at.
My one of my nephews actually cried watching.
Understandable. Yeah. It's gross.
Yeah, and I was like, if you're a child, you're probably you definitely you're not.
Some disturbing shit in there for sure.
Yeah, and I think I only watched it at like my grandma's house, because that's where all my cousins hung out. At home, I think we weren't even allowed to watch Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
the cousin influence, that's strong. I mean, that was the best joke of it for sure. Was like that one TikTok about my cousin,
go hang out with your cousins, and your cousins fucking doing like Among Us, some weird ass shit. They're showing you like the worst shit on YouTube, or like trying to traumatize you by like.
Have you seen One Man One Jar?
Oh my god, it's like it's always like it's your older cousins, or you're like like a shithead friend who is like who probably is on the dark web at like 12, but like doesn't know that they're on the dark web. They're just having so much fun, and they've seen a lot of like not safe for life stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
At like 13.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But I mean, speaking of not safe for life stuff, speaking of just really like dark stuff on the internet,
dark, twisted shit.
Let's switch on over to one of the darkest things I've ever talked about when it comes to online gaming. Okay, so the big reason why I know anything about today's topic is because my brother was an avid Minecraft player. My brother, our producer, started playing in Minecraft in July 2011.
Wow.
So he was
early adopter.
Yeah. But I checked, and he says he now no longer plays it because he gets dizzy from it, which, it's genetic. I remember being in high school, and I sort of gave it a try with my brother and a friend, but I just didn't. I don't think I'm very good at like open world games where you're just kind of like, bam, do some stuff. I think the like Sims maybe, but like I just build a house and then I leave, and then you build a house and leave, right?
Yeah, right.
Kind of like a landlord. I'll build a house, put someone in there and leave. Fuck it if they die. And then the city skylines. That was cool, but I'm not strategic enough to prevent everyone from drowning in sewage. So yeah, and I didn't like the noises in Minecraft. And for those who've seen our streams, you know that I'm also just like my brother. I chronically suffer from being fucking dizzy all the time. But my brother, I think, is much better at it. Sometimes I watch my brother play video games and I get dizzy because of the way
he's he's a dedicated gamer. Your brother, I think he pushes through. Right?
Yeah, he's a maniac. Yeah, super locked in. Being an early adopter of Minecraft. I was going to Minecraft. Why was I going to say it like that? Being an early adopter of Minecraft, my brother was there through it all and has fond memories of it. He's like one of those people who has like the old ass YouTube videos of like the walkthroughs, right? Yeah. It's very funny to watch them because like my brother's voice is very deep now, and I don't remember him having like a little high like preteen baby voice.
Child voice.
Yeah. So hearing him speak in those videos, I'm like, that's nuts. So he's gone through it all. He has memories of like the Minecraft has really good soundtrack, just so everybody knows. Very good soundtrack, and also has some of the best like parody songs on the internet. I recently listened to one that was like a parody of like Brat Charlie XCX and was pretty good.
Okay, so it's still going on. It's great. Minecraft.
Yeah, it's still going on. The one that's like really, really popular is like a parody of like Teo Cruz's Dynamite. Like I'll send it to you later, but
please do,
because we'd get like struck.
We'll include that in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put that on there. But all of that is about the extent of my knowledge of Minecraft before looking up all of this information on the game for the script. But Ben, did you ever play Minecraft? I know I checked in if you knew Herobrine, but did you ever play Minecraft?
Yeah, I played Minecraft. I think it's like I liked Minecraft. I was definitely like playing in like the early days, like probably close to 2011, maybe 2012. Like I was definitely in high school, so pre 2014. Very vibey. I think like the vibe is a little creepy. I would say there's like an eeriness, maybe a liminality, dare we say, to Minecraft, where you feel like you are like alone in this vast space. Mysterious space, it's kind of like there's a little bit of dark fantasy in there. You got skeletons, you got zombies, you got giant spiders. There's, I'm sure, a lot of other shit that has come along, Endermen, stuff like that. Past my time, but yeah, so there's like a air of menace in Minecraft.
It does.
Blocks, yeah.
I didn't like nighttime in Minecraft because I didn't like the sounds of the zombies. Like I think, and then like we ended up like turning it off if I ever played with my brother, but it was just a lot. With that, with knowing that you yearn for the mines to return, are you going to watch? Are you kept up with the movie? Are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I haven't even seen the Sonic movies yet, and I need to see those. So that's my priority. The Minecraft movie, I got very low interest in. I gotta be honest. I'm kind of burned out with old Jack Black at this point. His betrayal of Kyle Gass is just something I don't think I can get past. That was your boy. How are you gonna turn on him like that for the Minecraft movie? Are you fucking kidding me? That's how you're gonna throw away friendship for that?
Oh my
Come
God.
on, Jack. Come on, Jack. Come on, man.
Yeah. But yeah,
guy. Yeah.
For two Sonic heads, we have not seen the Sonic movie.
And they're probably decent. So,
I'm probably gonna watch that. It is a holiday break, and I probably will watch that because I have DD lined up, so nice. I'm gonna be watching it. So okay, so Ben's a Minecraft initiate, but for everybody else who's not heard of Minecraft. I feel like that's parents, grandparents know what Minecraft is. But yeah, Minecraft was released in May 2009 with a full version released in November 2011 by Marcus Notch Person. I won't go too hard on the game's history because if you listen to this podcast, you at least have some knowledge of what the game is. However, as a quick game run through, Minecraft, from what I've been reading, is like an open world / sandbox game with like 2 game modes, survival and creative. An open world game means that a player can just go whenever, wherever in the spirit of adventure and just doing whatever you like. Some examples of open world games, then you can add on Fallout, Elden Ring, Grand Theft Auto, Project Zomboid, our bestie, and then Red Dead Redemption. And then a sandbox game is basically like, as you might think, it is when you play in a sandbox as a child, you have like some things and then you do things. There's no end game set and you make shit up as you go. You could consider Sims and Roblox as a sandbox type game, right? In one of the cats just went to the bathroom. the pause of anyway, in Minecraft. The fan is pointing that way too. So anyway, in Minecraft, the survival mode, you basically just work at surviving. You're out there hunting, gathering, keeping yourself alive, away or fighting monsters and maybe some other people. Okay, my brother who frequently tried to blow up many of my friends' homes. Right? Yeah, so standard survival shit. And then in creative mode, you get to create. You've seen some of those like bonkers ass worlds where like people recreate maps. Movie film sets, and as you know, people may know these days the world of parkour. Have you seen any of those like parkour world videos in Minecraft, like full
like the brain rot stuff?
Yeah,
where it's just like somebody jumping on stuff. Yeah, yeah.
It's a full film, Ben. My brother has watched. Yeah, it's got a full narrative. There's like, oh my god, I need to send you these things. I have watched watched these things, and I kind of know about them. It's really intense. They've got full stories. It's like hours long. Right? Wow. It's extended from like brain rot to like full on storytelling. It's a film. It's a film.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. So it's in this game setting that we get introduced to our topic. Herobrine. Herobrine or Herobrine? I'm going to say Herobrine.
Either one.
Fuck it, we ball. Anyway, to start, Herobrine was first posted about on the V board on 4chan. I was gonna say our friend 4chan. No. Yeah. Our
friend of the pod.
Our cousin's friend.
As we secure our conservative turn here.
Excuse me, libertarian?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was posted about 4chan in 2010. The short of the long is that OP was just in a regular session of Minecraft, single player, new world, and just doing their own shit. Suddenly they spot something in the game. Quote, "It wasn't a cow, though. Looking back at me was another character with the default skin. His eyes were empty. I saw no name pop up, and I double-checked to make sure I wasn't in multiplayer mode. He didn't stay long. He looked at me and quickly ran into the fog. I pursued out of curiosity, but he was gone." Right? Like you said, there's a little bit of eeriness and a little strangeness in Minecraft, so this was a good setting for it. So OP pursues this creature and asks around about it on forums and all that stuff, but no one claims to know that what this thing was. In their quest to figure out what the hell it was, they get a message from someone named Herobrine telling them to stop it, right? OP continues to try and understand what the hell they saw, and eventually is told that Herobrine is used by a Swedish gamer and that it was Notch's brother who died. So Notch is what's Marcus Person. That is all that Herobrine is at its core, right? That's like the start of it, right? Before the abilities, the stuff, but that's where he started, right? Herobrine is first and foremost a fan-made cryptid on Minecraft. Up front, Notch apparently has an auto reply to emails that have the word Herobrine in it that straight up says Herobrine is not real and he does not have a dead brother. So guys, chill.
That's the narrative, the mainstream narrative.
Yeah. So Notch basically says that if you've seen Herobrine, you're being pranked. You've downloaded a mod that has it in there, or you're fucking lying, right? Herobrine is not in the source code. He shouldn't be there and wouldn't be there unless someone is fucking with you, right? Along with this, either close to their posting or at a later date, many of the initial big name like YouTubers of the Minecraft world or like whatever, were posting like proof about like Herobrine, like, oh my god, I saw him while I was building, blah blah blah, and then later on they're like, actually, no, it wasn't. I was just fucking around. I mean, we got a little bit into it, but Ben, on a more like less jokey, like, what do you think of like the outright denial by Notch regarding the Herobrine existence? Because it was like maybe like a month or something later, he was like, he's not fucking real. I don't have a dead brother. Shut up. Like that kind of thing. Yeah.
You know, obviously people don't lie on the internet, you know? So that's like, first and foremost, what we have to keep in mind. Especially on 4chan, where it's anonymous. Like, why would you lie? There's no reason to.
Why would you lie on Beyonce's internet?
Yeah, you're going to question OP?
Exactly.
No. I mean, he saw something, you know?
Yeah.
And like, also, here's the thing about Minecraft. It's an infinite world, right? You can like go forever and it never repeats. So in an infinite world, why not? Why are there not infinite possibilities? You know, man?
Damn. Mic drop. Don't drop it. We're recording. Okay. Yeah, I think it was very funny in like a way to have like him just be like, no, he's not in there. Someone's fucking with you.
Alone, please.
He's like, I don't have a dead brother, please. Like, so like that I think that one really like got me, where like part of the lore is that like Herobrine is actually not his dead brother, and he's just like, I do not have a dead
brother.
Please stop.
I mean, that's, you know, that makes sense from like a horror perspective to be like, it's a dead brother. Look, but
yeah. But not where am I? Oh yeah. Herobrine, for those not initiated, looks like the regular Steve Minecraft character, but has dead white eyes. There's no sort of list of what his like official abilities are, but according to the character, his character wiki, Herobrine has magical powers, is immortal and immune to death. You can't fucking kill him. He's omnipotent and he's fucking jacked. He's telepathic. What are
he's got them brain powers.
He got to me. He's omnipotent and he got in my brain and he jacked it up. Okay. He's telepathic. He uses a diamond sword, which I don't know what it means. Then
it's a sword made of diamonds in Minecraft. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Sick. And he can break the laws of physics, which is a very general idea of magical powers, and also breaks the laws.
Omnipotent, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, is omnipotent the all-knowing one, or is that the
all-powerful? Isn't that is omniscient?
Omniscient is the smart one, right?
Yeah.
All-knowing. Yeah. So he's that means all-powerful. He's breaking laws of physics. That seems like within all-powerful.
Yeah. So he's he's OP. He's OP. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. OP made him OP. So he's not
Minecraft.
He's not just a guy. He's the guy, capital TH, maybe even 2 E's, right? Now, with all that being said, today I'm getting back to my usual beloved question, which is it scary? By 2011, when I looked up creepypasta timeline, and I was like hit one by one about like the fucking one after the other historical peak of creepypastas. By 2011, in video game creepypastas, we already had some heavy hitters, or were at least developing them. So Ben Drowned is 2010. Lavender Town, the story is 2010. The Mario corrupted Super Mario game MAR 10 was 2010. Sonic.exe is 2011. So it was like we had the Haunted Majora's Mask in 2010, Deducible, and then that was all the video game stuff that was at least in 2010. So Herobrine is in competition with like some stuff that
and also those are all like way older titles than Minecraft did, which is kind of interesting.
Right? Lavender Town 90s.
Yeah. I mean, like all the like Majora's Mask is the 64 one, Mario 64, which is all kind of 90s stuff.
Yeah. So like these things were all around. 2010 itself in general was like a peak of creepypastas. We had Gateway of the Mind. Then we had SpongeBob's bootleg episode that still scares me. We had the Rake, and then we had and then a skeleton popped out meme. And so the early 10s were creepypasta heaven, right? Because this Herobrine was like 2011, you're already kind of like super drowned in like all of that scarier stuff, right? By 2012, like when I was sort of aware of Minecraft, I was already getting like blown over the head by like the SpongeBob bootleg episode, leading me to sleep with my iPod Touch. Yeah, iPod Touch, yes. In 100% brightness the whole night so that I wouldn't be in the dark. That's how scared I was, right? Yeah. 2012, it was like, so like 12 something years ago, was definitely, for some would say, too old to be scared of a creepypasta.
About SpongeBob?
About SpongeBob. Then you gotta, I'm not gonna send you the picture. I'm not gonna be like, then you gotta look at this. Look at it on your own time.
I've seen it, okay? Like, I was on the internet the same era, JD.
We're the same age, but you just were living it, Ben. How dare you? Okay. So, up front, as a 29-year-old, I don't think the concept of the Herobrine is scary, right? 2010 JD wouldn't have been scared either. I was too busy, once again, being scared by SpongeBob, fucking Squidward's dead-ass eyes.
bigger things.
I had bigger things to worry about, right? Because I was on the daily watching SpongeBob, but I was not doing the Minecraft, right? Who knows if Nickelodeon was going to randomly forget about feet and then
that episode.
Okay. Fuck it. Plus, I was like, this could be real. Even though I'm like, it's not real. My brain was like, it could be. You don't know.
It's possible.
One of these days. Yeah. 2010 JD wouldn't have been scared. I think I just watched my brother playing Minecraft, and as I mentioned, the only thing that really scared me on Minecraft was the sounds of the zombies, but not the zombies themselves.
Yeah, right.
Really good. Like, even back in that time where it was just like the shitty like Logitech headphones, the sound in the game was very good. So
very good sound design. Around,
so good. Amazing soundtrack once again. Pixel type game creepypasta don't necessarily scare me like visually. The stories can, right? And you're probably like, why would I trust you when you were literally you're scared of the smile dog, which is just a husky staring into the camera, and you're scared of Squidward. Trust me, okay?
There's a through line here somewhere.
There's a commonality, okay? Anyway, it's like the pixel type games do not scare me, but their stories do, like in the sense of like Herobrine's story. Neither 2024 JD or 2010 JD are scared. Historically, we have a lot of like mundane things that get thrown off by like the randomly weird things as like a concept in like meme culture, especially in gaming. You've heard us talk about them before. We run it into the ground until we can innovate on it. Like AI Lobe. AI Lobe is like sort of like a new version of it, right? Because it's taken on like AI generating images, and all of a sudden here's like cryptid that exists in it, right? So yeah, visually it's not scary. Story wise, it's not scary to me, but more something that I like. If I was like at that age playing Minecraft and someone was telling me this, I'm not gonna be like scared, but I'm gonna be like, I heard it from a friend, so I'm gonna go look for it and find it. I'm not gonna stay away from it. I'm just gonna be like, bet. Right? That kind of thing.
Right.
However, I know that it did give some people, especially younger players, a scare. Googling "were kids scared of Herobrine" or "were kids scared of Herobrine" Reddit results in 10-plus-year-old posts that are clearly written by younger users talking about how they were scared of it. So from 11 years ago, we have the title, "I'm scared of Minecraft because of Herobrine" from the Minecrafta. Okay, so their post says, "I think I saw him. Okay. If you're not a believer of Herobrine, press the back button. Is there for a reason." paragraph break. Okay, I was making a world using Flan's gun mod, and the user made content pack DayZ gun mod, and I got it because it looked fun, judging by the YouTube videos of the actual game. But I made a mistake on my building, and for lulz, I was going to make a plane with large bombs from Flan's mod, but I did it correctly. But what the heck? I saw nothing in the plane crafting table and saw pop-ups of a person when I was not looking with my real eyes. I was ready to take a screenshot, but nothing was there. And then the assuming child follows it up with like, if you don't know what the Herobrine is, assuming it was a child from 11 years ago. I wonder what they're doing now. They posted in the like, if you don't know what the Herobrine is, here's the full story. And the replies to it were like young people going like, just push through, blah blah blah. Right. We have posts on the internet talking about parents seeing their whose kids see stories about the Herobrine and other Minecraft creepypastas and becoming scared of the game as a result. One of them connects to that thing where you said about like kids going on the internet and like believing like random videos and just watching them off the cuff, and then like some of these kids now will watch a video about like a Herobrine or like some other like Minecraft creepypasta and they'll get scared of the game and believe it. Sure, like the one that I saw was a post from a parent like 3 years ago, and they're like, the parent used to also play Minecraft and is kind of showing their kid around, but their kid keeps on insisting that there's like an entity 303 in the game or something, and the parents just like, no, please stop. Right? Yeah. And then we also have like a bunch of stories about people recollecting stories about them being scared of Herobrine when they were younger, but now sort of acknowledging that like it's because they were a child that it was something that they easily believed.
They've grown up with like the legend of Herobrine.
Yeah.
Scaring them.
Which is very fun as you get older, looking back on what scared you. Understandably, young people were scared of it. When you're someone who doesn't expect something like this because you're literally a child, hearing stories about it from other kids who are either completely convinced of Herobrine or are wanting to prank and scare another kid is kind of scary, right? It's essentially from what we all know about online urban legends, the equivalent of someone telling you not to say a certain phrase in front of the mirror at night, right? 3 a.m. gone wrong, right? That when you go up to a certain hill at night with one that I don't know if you know about, which was told to me by my cousins once again, is that if you go up to shout out to my cousins for terrifying me. We go up to doxable information, a park here in our city. That is blue. If you go up somewhere there and you go down, like, and you park your car and you put powder on your back windshield mirror, if you just stay there, and you take off your brakes or some shit like that, you'll get handprints on the back of your window because there are kids trying to push you back up because they see that your car is out of control. So like that's one of the stories, right? Yeah, from that area. And it's kind of like that kind of story, right? Herobrine, all of these online urban legends are just new versions. For sure. Yeah, right? Yeah. And I asked my brother, our music producer once again, whether he was scared of Herobrine as a kid. My brother, he is an easily scared person. When his girlfriend and I talk about scary stories, movies, games, etc., my brother tends to like check out and start watching videos on his phone to distract himself. He doesn't enjoy scary movies unless he knows what's going on. When he watches a scary movie with his friends, they get a bit confused and a little entertained that he's taking part in watching the movie. My brother can get his sleep messed up very easily by a scary photo. He's not Ben, he's not me, just even a little bit. He can be okay with like phasmophobia because he like speeds through it. His intent is to win a game, that kind of thing.
Right. He can lock in. As we've covered.
Once again, my brother locks in. And then some of the Roblox games where you like, what's that one game that you and Dolly played where like you just went through doors and doors and stuff and there was he can play those things as long as his girlfriend is around or it's like the morning. But when it comes to Herobrine, my brother told me that he was scared of it as a kid. He did end up showing me a video of like him doing like a house walkthrough on Minecraft, and then he all of a sudden hears the sound and he quickly cuts the video. So he ends the video then and there because he just got scared, right? More importantly, now he's still kind of scared of it when he plays by himself. So my brother's just a few years younger than me, so he's fine, right? So no matter if he's a young kid or a young adult, Herobrine still gets to him, even if just a little, right? Now, with all that being said, does something have to be scary to everyone to be effective, right? I don't know about everybody else. I don't know about you, but I might argue something that I would argue is as long as someone is even a little bit scared of that thing, I think it's kind of effective, right? We can argue up and down that showing the alien in signs makes it unscary, and that the smile in Smile isn't scary at all and is just off-putting. But somewhere down the line, someone was scared of the alien in its visible form. Someone out there wasn't able to sleep because they saw that Smile cameo on like the VMAs or some shit like that. Just like how we all have our personal likes and dislikes about everything in the world, something not being widely scary or terrifying doesn't mean that it isn't effectively scary. It would just mean that it's not like generally scary, which like, yeah, it can take it down the notch. I can take it down like the top 10 list of scary creatures of all time for some random person at New York Times who's out to piss everyone off, like they're a Pitchfork contributor. Like they're like, okay, top 10 scariest things of all time, but now it's my top 10 list of best musicians to piss everyone off. I briefly was like, okay, how could I make the Herobrine concept like scary for myself, like as a story or like visually, right? Like for me, I wasn't able to like fully do that. Like in the setting of Minecraft, I think it would take some really insane like SFX visual changes to make Herobrine scary to me, right? The other day, a friend and I were taking a quiz on uquiz.com about, and one of the questions was about what is scary to you, right? One of the options was the following, and I hate that I forgot that I wrote this down because I hate the concept of this. The option is so bad. Okay, so one of the options for like what's scary to you is you walk into your sibling's bedroom and you see a person under their bed and they look at you smiling. As you're about to warn your sibling, a hand closes over your mouth, preventing you from warning them. As I read that one on the quiz, like genuinely, I was like, this is disgusting. A shiver went up my spine. Like I hated the visual of it. Right. Similarly, when I was writing that down, I did look under my desk and then also behind me, which I'm completely fine right now because I can see it. Hachi's behind me, and then
there,
Minnie's down here, very dangerously under my chair. Right. And I wrote on here, a shiver went up my spine then, and is probably going up my spine right now. Yes, I still hate the image of that. And I was kind of wondering like how I could get that feeling from Herobrine. And like, I know that visual is going to be forever scary to me because that was the reason why I stopped watching Hannibal until I made you watch it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like that lady that was under the bed, I was like, fuck off. And then I stopped watching it. And then I picked it up again, right?
So just put Herobrine under the bed. That's enough for you? Does that work?
I don't know. Like, would he fit under there? He's like a big... Plus, like, the one good thing about my bed is that it's like the bottom
very
part.
Intentionally not enough space for
so I'm like all that stuff is under there is like an IKEA package of like clothes for like that are out of season that I put away because I need my winter clothes, right? Talking about winter clothes, wearing a muscle tee, you got me at the wrong time. Anyway, how could I get that feeling of like from Herobrine? I think for me it would be a complete overhaul, that it wouldn't be worth it to change the Herobrine.
Page one rewrite.
Yeah.
It's just Herobrine scary for you.
Yeah, it's just not worth it, right?
That's fair.
And I'll just leave it as something that's not for me and for someone else to be scared by, right? Like until the day that they're no longer scared of it, or at least begin to understand why something like that would scare them. So what if my good man Herobrine doesn't scare me? It scared my brother, and that's at least a hit in our household as a concept. If my brother's scared of something, we don't talk about it unless he's out of the room, right? So that was Herobrine. Gang. Yeah.
Gang.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think like I think I was probably already a little too old for the Herobrine to be scary when I was like playing Minecraft. But I think, I mean, like, given the ominous vibe of Minecraft, I think the fact that it is like often played as kind of a solitary experience. There is like, and you're in like a solitary experience, like a survival game. You're like alone in like a woods. It's like can be night, low visibility, foggy, exploring caves, and mining and various other things.
Yeah.
The idea that like I think thinking that you're alone and not being alone is like a pretty consistent thing in horror.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that, the feeling of being watched or anything is like I think an effectively creepy experience that like we've all kind of felt at some point.
Yeah.
So I think that like extending that into like a video game where you think you're alone, but what if there's something there? What if someone's watching you? Yeah,
because you can get really locked in when you're building stuff on like Minecraft. So like the idea of that being broken by like mayhaps Herobrine coming to stare at you if I was a kid who was like in the peak of believing these things, I'd be like, I don't think I'd want to play this for a little bit. One of the parents posted about like how their kid didn't want to play Minecraft for like a hot minute because they saw a video about Herobrine.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. That would be I think scary, especially for a kid to be like, because like it's there are things that will like try to kill you in Minecraft, but like the unknowing motives of Herobrine I think adds to it.
Yeah.
Of like just coming to stare at you and then running off or something like that.
Yeah, it's just
weirdo behavior. Freak.
Nasty. Freak, man. Yeah, like I think like okay. Here's my question for you. Like there are a lot of things in the world to be scared by in terms of fiction. let's get back in the fiction space, okay? Like scary monster stuff that's creative. Is there one that like a lot of people or like many people that are scared by, but you're not? And then have you ever thought of like, why isn't this scaring me? Like, how could I, like, in what world would I be scared of that? Like, have you ever had that like thing? Not the Squidward.
Well, like that's not scary to me particularly. I don't know. What's something that's scary to me? Things that are not scary to me.
Yeah, not scary.
Scary to other people, not necessarily scary to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I feel like like if I saw, I think a lot of things like if I experienced it, I would be scared of it. You know what I mean? I don't think it would. Like I think if I saw like, definitely like you have a moment where like a door closes on its own or like something like falls or something like that. You have a moment where you're like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like that just it happens. I don't think I'm like so like scary. I don't know. I mean vampires or not. Like I mean like I'm not particularly scared of the concept of vampires. I don't know like. But I don't think most people are scared of vampires. I think most people want to fuck vampires. So like it's not. That's a different thing. Something that most people are scared of. I don't think Bigfoot's not considered scary to most people. Loch Ness Monster also not scary. Most cryptids not scary, I guess.
Yeah, most cryptids are not.
And then I would be scared of ghosts. And I probably would be scared of aliens as well.
Yeah.
So I guess I would be scared of the standard things. Do you have something?
No, because I jump at everything.
Because you're scared of everything.
I'm scared of everything. I can handle it like afterwards, but like in the moment, I'm like, don't fucking look at me, right?
Yeah. The EP has had like a recent thing where they've been talking about how like, to me, I didn't realize this was horror. Like various like media stuff. Like they're talking like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I didn't even realize it was scary to people, but apparently some people it's scary, and I was like, all right.
The EP's like they're hardcore.
I'm not ice in the veins.
I didn't even know. But, damn.
Yeah, they had like several other things like about various horror-ish adjacent things. Like I don't think it was supernatural, but they like kind of like evil or various other things that are like kind of horror in the horror sphere generally, but not to the EP because the EP is more of like kind of a horror aficionado in terms of like what qualifies as horror. And so they were having to debate about like what qualifies as horror. Like does just having supernatural elements make something horror, right? Like is Constantine horror? Is like Blade horror because there's vampires in it? Like where's the line between like horror and then just kind of using supernatural stuff or like kind of elements that could be coded as horror, right? Like I don't Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I wouldn't really consider it horror personally either.
Yeah, I feel like that's like supernatural.
It was supernatural, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, where does the line go? I mean, I guess it's the intention of like what it's supposed to make you feel, maybe.
Yeah.
But then like you can use like elements that are supposed to be like, there's scary stuff in Buffy, I think, right? Like those, like, what are they, like, not the Watchers, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't want to go
like guys in suits.
Oh, yeah. I was also thinking that in terms of like Doctor Who.
Sure, yeah, like, yeah, or like, I mean, Fringe had like some, yeah, there's like definitely like you can have like scary stuff within like a supernatural thing, but it doesn't necessarily make the whole thing horror.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. In terms of like something that I guess I'm just, I'm like scared of the standard stuff probably. Like I don't think I can't say like, I wouldn't be scared if I saw a ghost. Like I would. I don't want to see a ghost.
Yeah, that's true. Like I was trying to think of like there's this maybe like there's something that I'm not scared of that a friend is scared of. Like that is like more like I still don't want to look at Mr. Squidward and you're like Chani, that's not scary at all.
Right, yeah.
One of my friends is afraid of the alien from like one of the Halloween episodes of The Simpsons. And I used to have that as like my icon on like everything, right? Twitter, Tumblr and everything. And she was like, every time I see that, like, I hate seeing that. Like, I used to be so scared of that. And I was like, I'm not scared of it, but I'm going to stop using it because you do look at my stuff all the time. So I'm not going to do it.
Expose you to that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, like, thanks for telling me. And then my friends on Tumblr used to like, when I was like at my peak scared of like the SpongeBob thing, they would they would tag like any meme with like SpongeBob in it to make sure that I could like use like the missing E extension to like block any single time that it was that serious for me. I just did not want to look at like anything SpongeBob for like a hot minute, a long time. But yeah, it's like those kinds of things where like maybe I understand, and then I'm also like, even if I'm just scared for like a couple of hours of like the general things that people are scared of, like, but if it's like very specific things of like my friend's scared of like that alien from The Simpsons, or like that one episode. You haven't seen X-Files, right?
No.
There's like an episode of X-Files where like this guy, he can like, I forgot if he can melt or like turn into slime, or like if he can just get real mad flexible, but he would like, I hate it. I looked at an event right now. Yeah. Like he can go through like the walls and stuff. He can walk through the walls and all that stuff because he can melt and bend so far that he can get into like the vents and like come out of there.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, I looked at the vent and I'm like, that was kind of scary. That's a scary thought that would happen. But then I'm not necessarily like fully always afraid of it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess that there are, obviously there are like phobias and stuff that people are scared of that like, I think it's like a thing where it's like, it's unreasonable or like irrational to anyone until it happens to you. Right. Like I like the phobia of like tiny holes, you know that one?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have that phobia, but like, I think if like I've had it explained to me, I'm like, okay, I can see why that would be like uncomfortable to look at, and like why you're kind of disgusted but also kind of scared of like that kind of stuff. I don't know, I think like always like kind of trying to understand the why of something is scary is always interesting, because there's so many different ways of things being scary. I feel like that's the whole gist of the stuff that we do. What we're after really is ideally to understand why. But
I mean, like
we want answers.
We want answers. We've gone 2 years of our credibility. Yeah, like you said, like the Bigfoot is not scary. Like it is not scary, but like a big strange creature in the forest.
Well, there are like, I've read like Bigfoot stories, like that are kind of scary. About like people being like, like rocks thrown, like a boulder thrown at them by like what they thought was like a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Or like stalked in their car by like Big Feet or something like that. Like there's, like I think there's nothing about Bigfoot that says he can't be, scary. Like it's a big fucking ape thing in the woods. That would be scary to run into, like.
Yeah. Like that is just, even if he's not scary as like a concept to you, it's just like, it's kind of like if you're alone in the woods and there's like a person following you. Like that's scary. But now the person is like 8 feet tall and you don't understand it. It doesn't understand you. That kind of thing is like a scary thing. Like if I was to think of like a maybe upfront scary type cryptid, maybe like the Mothman, because like a lot of those stories of like Mothman stalking people as well, like showing up in like places like what was that one where like it literally fought a lady for her like child. So I'm that's hey Mothman.
Mothman is aggressive. Mothman tends to be aggressive in the interactions.
Yeah, like Mothman, you've gone too far. Do not steal children. Stop it.
Yeah, right.
Be cool about like go ahead and like stand ominously.
Foretell doom or whatever, but like don't kidnap people.
Like that's
we draw the line at abductions, Mothman.
Yeah, go ahead and foretell the scary stuff. Do not abduct anyone. But
you gotta have limits. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see anything. That's generally like my rule. Is like ideally in real life, I don't really want to see anything. I'm fine with like, I'll accept the mystery. I like Bigfoot as like a fun concept. I like aliens as like a fun concept. I like ghosts as a fun concept. I don't want to see any of it.
Yeah, like don't show it to me. You. Like the other day, I literally was in the garage by myself, and then like the boot, like one of my brother's boots like slipped a little bit, and I think it was just because like it was kind of precariously placed. But I was like, for 1 second, I was like, nah, and then immediately was like, no, it was kind of tilted, so I get why I fell over. But like, do not show me that shit.
Yeah. The new season of Paranormal Con Camera is going on right now for the year. And I watched one episode that had a sequel to the Mexican Piñata Store.
Why was I thinking of that immediately? That was the first thought.
That is potentially the best segment that they've ever had on there.
That is the scariest thing.
And they had a sequel to it. And the sequel, I wouldn't say it's up there though. It's another very good segment on there, like a unusually notably good one. So people out there, Paranormal Con Camera. A, look for the one with like the Mexican Piñata Store. B, look for the sequel, the most recent one.
That one is quite literally how impactful that is. It's literally you said Paranormal Con Camera, and I immediately was like, man, remember that fucking Piñata one? That shit was mad scary. I think the only other episode of it that was kind of like, it wasn't scary as like a visual or a thing, but it was the concept of like this. I don't know if you watched this episode, but it was like the guy kept hearing screaming in his basement.
I don't know if I see that one. No.
Yeah, it was like this dude just kept hearing screaming in his basement, and anytime he would go down there, like it was nothing, and then like the lights would like flicker, blah blah blah, but like there was nothing down there, but he would hear screaming in his basement. Yeah, but that was the only other time that I was like slightly scared, but it wasn't as visceral as the fucking Piñata one. Like, I hate
the visual in the Piñata one is especially striking.
I hate to know what the sequel of it is. You
don't see that same creature.
Oh my god,
it's not that same thing. It's different. It's a different kind of creepy.
I'm telling y'all.
It's good. It's good. Ooh, that's good.
That creature in that fucking episode was no fucking way. I hate it.
It was fucked up. It was fucked up looking. Yeah.
It was.
There was one other segment for me, but I think that was also because it was set in Portland here, right?
Oh god.
It's doxable information. But it was like it was like a crawler video, like a crawler sighting thing. But it was like a crawler on the roof of someone's house, and you could just see like its eye. Did you see that?
You have shown me this. You have told me to look at it.
Yeah, and it's like fully like white, like like fully just completely white of me white, and it's just like
I hate that. Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the guy's like trying to like, hey, what, and it's just like
no fucking way. Yeah, I remember that. Image sitting in my brain for a bit.
Yeah,
and
that's fucked up. Yeah.
If anyone wants to go back to our fucking episodes where Ben would show me scary videos and I would show Ben sea creatures, there was the one where like it was on the street and then like someone was like walking like bent over backwards or some shit. I hated that one. And then the tool something.
Yeah,
that one I hated seeing that. That was, I think that could be in like top 10 of worst videos you've ever shown me.
Yeah, so there's scary stuff out there.
Yeah.
For those with eyes to see.
Cathedrals of haunted houses for those with eyes to see.
Whatever the saying is, you know.
All right. So this episode was written and produced by Ben and JD. For all our sources, please head to the website in the description below. If you'd like to reach out with a comment, suggestion, or share an experience with one of our topics today, send us a message at icecreamumeme@gmail.com. All of the music for the podcast is provided by Yacht and Frank. If you like today's episode, please go ahead and tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Tell a nemesis. Who knows? Maybe that'll bring you together. But yeah, this has been Ice Cream You Meme Podcast. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.